Good morning, guys. So as you can see, and Euro USD is still in a range. We're still trading in a range in which we took out the range high, and perhaps we're coming out to take out the range lows. Okay, so that's one possibility. Or since we can see clear, since it's clear to see that okay, this is a bullish market with our breakup structure here, our swing low and our swing high, right? So once we have our swing low, we have our swing high. Now we retraced, took out this liquidity into discount prices, and then we started trickling upward and upward. So and then we came into this range. So this is the accumulation phase. So it is possible that okay, we have this manipulation taking out these highs, and then another manipulation taking out these lows, and we can now pick a direction. Perhaps we want to go higher or want to go lower. The thing is, with Euro USD, the thing is with Euro USD, right? We still have this descending trend line. Since we know, okay, we're in an uptrend, we still have this descending trend line, right? These highs and highs that we can take out if possible, if market wants to. So let's keep an eye out for that. And since we know underlying we're still bullish, okay, so let's keep an eye out for that. And if we look at market structure, right, so this is a demand level. This is a demand level. This pace can act to push the market up higher, right? Is a demand level. This can act to push the market up higher. So let's see what happens when market comes into there. Yesterday I suggested okay, you could have taken a position because it's a range play. You could have taken a position, but I would like my stock to be above my quarterly open, right? And then for like a 1 to 1.5 or something, if you, for me, the risk to reward didn't make sense. So that's why I'm not in this sort of position personally. So that's why I'm still holding and still waiting. Because if we come to the dollar, right? Now, if we look at the dollar, on the dollar, right, we had this area of demand which we marked out here, right? So we had this area of demand which we marked out. Market came into here. A second. So here's our quarterly open. It's, I don't know why it always does that on the 4 hour, but here's our quarterly open right here. Okay, so here's our quarterly open. Okay, and then so market came into this demand area, and then once we came into this demand area, so we got that push up, bull stepped in, came in, took out the low. We got another push up, but we couldn't break the previous high, but we broke the low. Got another push up, couldn't break the previous high, but we broke the low. That's signifying okay, perhaps we have stronger bearish momentum in this market as at the moment than the bullish momentum. So it just makes me not want to buy the dollar, which is short in Euro USD, which is also part of why I didn't enter that range play, because I saw it and I was like, okay, like this is showing weakness on the part of the dollar, and if the dollar starts to sell, Euro USD is going to buy, right? So that's why. And then we have these open areas right here. Right, we have this open area of liquidity right here, also this extreme area. So let's see what the dollar wants to do. From then, that would let us know, okay, are we ready to keep pushing up or not? So if we start to see break of this high from the dollar, perhaps we can start to see the grab of this trend line liquidity, right? So we have this liquidity resting here, so we can start to see grabbing up this liquidity and then change of character, and we keep pushing up, or we just keep pushing down, and maybe if we get to this extreme discounted level, this imbalance right here, we can push the market up higher from there and start to buy. So we just follow for now. Okay, on GBP USD, right? I mean, what is there to say? So we have our quarterly open right here, right? And then we have this imbalance right here, which can act as liquidity right underneath it. So we have here coming here, rejecting, grabbing liquidity and pushing down, and then coming back into that area again. So let's see if we still have enough bears to push this down, or bulls are going to take over and we grab this liquidity into this quarterly open. And keep in mind that our swing wise, we're still bullish, so we haven't broken the swing structure, right? So from this swing low to this high, we're still bullish. So let's keep that in mind. We retrace into here, into this discounted level, took that liquidity, and now we pushed up. Now we're just trickling upward around this resistance area, right? So this 1.360 level, 1.358, 3579, right? Sorry. So let's see what happens around that level, and let's see what happens today. If we keep on pushing higher, right? If we keep on pushing higher, then for me, there's no point in looking for sales for now. We just wait until market starts. Perhaps we get here, we can get a change of character or something, or we just keep on making those higher prices. So either ways, we would be there and we'll be present to take whatever opportunities that we are presented. Okay, for now, there's really nothing for me to do on this market. I'm not interested in selling it from here, neither am I interested in buying it from here, so I'll just wait. With NZD/USD, right? NZD/USD. So the first thing we can see is at the end of the day, right? So we had here as our swing low, our swing high, we broke it, and we, like, since we have our swing low extreme here, so we're still bullish, right? So now we started to consolidate in this area, right? We started to make this range play, right? We started to make this range, and now, okay, so this was the high, manipulation of the high, and then manipulation of the lows. And I said it, I've been saying it all week long, that all I'm interested in this market is just for a way to long it. I'm not interested in shorting this market at the moment. Why am I not interested in shorting this market at the moment? Because we're in a range, we're in a discounted area. So for me, it's just all about looking for those longs into this premium area, right? So, and then also coinciding with that, we have this this trend line liquidity that has been forming. One touch, second touch, third touch, and on the fourth touch, people want to sell. Where would their stop loss be? Above this area of liquidity. If you're being very conservative, perhaps above here. So for me, it's just all about, okay, now what's in control? We have this area of demand in control, pushing up the market higher. We have our fractal structure shift. So all I'm just waiting for is that retracement, and then I would like to look for further long positions. So maybe we take out this liquidity low, come into this demand area, respect it, and then from there, and respect this monthly open perhaps, and then from there we start to buy up. I would be interested in taking those further longs into this supply area, because, right, this supply area wasn't mitigated, right? And we have these open areas right here, so which can also act as liquidity. So let's see what happens. Let's see how the market reacts today and tomorrow. Perhaps it will be ready by next week, who knows. So on BTC USD, we hit our TP since we've been in this trade since 1st of September actually. So since 1st of September, we've been in this trade, and today we hit our TP. Okay, right here, I think the trade was, we hit our TP yesterday, pardon. So our trade was right here, 1, 2, 3. If you held that trade, congratulations. If you didn't, grow some balls. Hold your trades. Don't come here, come and start. Hold your trades. Okay, hold your trades. So this was it. This was a sweet trade, right? So I still have a runner, because why do I have a runner? Because of this liquidity high right here, right? So I'm targeting this area. So we have this liquidity underneath. So perhaps we grab it and then respect this supply, which took out this liquidity. Might come in and test it. So let's see around that 115 area. Let's see what happens when we get there. Okay. So with gold, I mean, right? So finally, we're getting some overdue retracement. So we have here breakup structure. I mean, we're bullish, swing low, swing high, if you want to mark that, right? So now we have this liquidity low resting here. Perhaps we grab it, come into this discounted area, and then we can look for buys from that area, right? So we just want to see, okay, liquidity grab and then change of character, and then we start to look for those buys. Okay. um so this thing, let's also have a look at uh, the JPY pairs. So we took a loss on AUD JPY. We'll talk about that in a minute. Right, in a second. So with Euro JPY, we're bullish, right? So I mean, and here we had this supply which grabbed this liquidity, broke structure. Now we're back inside it. So let's see. We've also grabbed the liquidity above. So it could just mean, okay, now that we've grabbed that liquidity, boom, right? We've grabbed it, and now we had that change of character. So this becomes our supply zone, right? So we're looking at it mechanically. For me, I'm not interested in trading. If I'm interested in trading, it's going to be like a quick one to maybe from here down to here to target this monthly open. Let's see if we have another conference. No. Okay. So but I'm not really interested that much, because okay, now we have that range. If you look at this, we had this range right here, right? So we had this range right here, and because of what's going on in France, where although yes, now they've Macron has elected a new prime minister, but also you can see we have there's no confidence in his government. This is about his 12th prime minister, if I'm not mistaken. There's no confidence in his government. People are protesting, so it's a possibility for euro to start to see lower prices, which hence, okay, if we come into this supply area which took out this liquidity, I probably will be tempted to look for a sell from here, at least to target this monthly open for like a quick 1 to 2, if we can get it, something of this nature, right? So give me a second, guys. Sometimes TradingView be acting stupid, right? So for like a 1 to 1.5, right? So for like a 1 to 1.5, we can get that kind of trade. Maybe it's gonna give it to us. So let's see how that works. With AUD USD, quite similar to NU, in the sense that, okay, this, we can see we're bullish, right? This is our swing low and our high, right? Okay, so this was our swing low, our swing high, and then this low, this V-shaped reversal broke this high. Once it broke that high, pardon, right here, sorry. Once it broke that high, and then we just kept trickling up higher and higher, but it was a slow move, like this consolidative move into the highs, and then now we took out the low. You can see this W, right? So we had this liquidity here. We came into here. This was that strong supply. We took it out. We took out liquidity above it. So it is a possibility that we just keep on making higher prices and higher prices, perhaps to grab this extreme liquidity at 0.668 area, or we just keep on going. So for me, I don't see a reason in shorting this market yet, unless we start to have those change of character, and then we can start to look for short from it. But for me, I don't see a reason in shorting the market as of now. So if we start to see those fractal structure shift, which may perhaps this low gets taken and this quarterly open is now acting as resistance, then I can say, okay, perhaps we could take it down to look for these lows and target these lows and these lows, or these, right, into this strong area of demand which took out this liquidity, right, perhaps. So let's just see what market wants to do. Now let's talk about our AUD JPY loss. There's, okay, so I mean, what can we say? So we had our conferences, right? So we had this yearly open, right, which, as you guys know, if you've been here, we like to trade off of it, right? So it's a strong confidence for us. So we had that confidence, right, which gave us more confidence in the trade, right? So we had that confidence. As you guys can see, right, there's no holy grail in trading. Not everything works all the time. It works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. Okay, so we had the yearly open. We came into here, right? I saw, okay, now we started to sell. People started to get in, the early sellers, right, on the grab of this liquidity. but then we came back up to grab this extreme one, and that was when I became a seller upon this break of structure. We broke it, retest, I entered, and boom, straight to my stop loss. So there's, as I said earlier, like the swing structure was bullish. I identified that the swing structure that we have in this market, because okay, if we look at which high broke this low right here, we could take this as a high, but in reality we could take this also as a high, right? So we have here this pullback here, and then we broke that structure. So once we broke it and also taking out this extreme one, you could just tell, okay, now it's bullish. And because I was looking for those bears, because okay, as at this area, so we have this liquidity resting, this area of liquidity right here, this bump in the road on its way down. We have this area of liquidity right here, and then we have this extreme high, right? So we have our extreme high right here, and then this area of liquidity resting underneath it. So I thought, okay, after the grab of liquidity, and because of the JPY yen basket going up, I thought, okay, so this would just start trickling down and supporting that yearly open, which was also another confidence on the yen basket, but it didn't play out the way we anticipated, guys. So it's just all about waiting and seeing what the next position is going to be. Okay, I wish you guys a wonderful trading day. Thank you for your time. Bye bye.